Jim Edwards here for MMA Latest News.com, and it's the MMA Latest Daily, where we take your questions that you send us using the hashtag MMA Latest, and we answer them every single day, Monday to Friday. Guys, I'm just back from Dublin this last weekend, and I've got quite a few questions coming out the back of that, so let's just get cracking. The first question comes in from Lucy Harler. What were your favourite bits of UFC Dublin? If you're talking about the whole week and not just the event itself, there was one thing that really stood out to me in the build-up to the actual event, or obviously not all the cancellations. It was actually Ben Rothwell, who obviously didn't have a fight on the card after Stipe Miocic pulled out only 2 weeks ahead of it. But actually I thought he had a great week in terms of building his brand, making himself even more of a fan favourite to the Irish people. I'm going to write an article actually about that on the site later this week, so watch out for that. Another favourite moment was the Aisling Daly, some of the entrances. So the Aisling Daly entrance, the crowd singing along to that song Zombie, which was, that gave me goosebumps. Also Paddy Holohan entering for the main event was very, very cool. My favourite moment though, I guess it wasn't particularly popular with some people, was the Louis Smolka Paddy Holohan fight. I thought it was absolutely incredible. The ground game by both those guys was. Do you know what? Paddy Holohan was a lot better than I thought he was, but I thought Louis Smolka was. I knew Louis Smolka was as good as he was. Some of the transitions and the attempted submissions were just absolutely amazing, and I think that's a massive win for Louis Smolka, and I just hope, and I can really hope we can see him build off that. He's a good guy, and I hope he gets his shot at the title soon. Next question. So this comes from a Matt Watchell 62. Are Irish fans as good as people say they are? So I think some people have been looking at the fact that a few beers were thrown into the cage after the main event when Paddy Holohan was submitted, and I even stuck a video of that up ourselves. But I think if you actually go on to watch the rest of that video, what you'll see is actually there are 95% of the people left in the crowd who are looking around at the few idiots that are chucking the beers in the crowd and just clapping and saying, saying well done to Paddy, but also congratulating Louis Smolka. So, and yeah, they were just incredibly friendly all week. A lot of people came up to me, thank you very much for doing so, came up and said hello to the team, so much they like the website, and just generally people that just want to talk about MMA. They're knowledgeable about the sport, and they're more than accommodating when you go to the country. So big thumbs up from me, and yes, they are as nice as people say they are. Last question today, MMA Creedby. MMA Creepy? I don't know. MMA Creedby. Will UFC London be as good as Dublin? Who will we see fight there? Blimey, that's a question. I don't know. I've never actually been to a UFC in London, so I don't know how passionate supporters are. I think even Dana White himself has come out and said that Dublin is the new fighting capital of the world. So, but perhaps it won't be. But I'm sure since the UFC hasn't been to London for a fair few years, whenever you don't go somewhere, it makes it more special when they do come. So yeah, let's see on that. Who do I think will be on the card? I think Michael Bisping's an absolute nail on for the main event, and I think just one guy who I really hope will be there, who's just dying to be there, is Scott Askham. I think another guy who we could see coming out as a real high prospect from this weekend, Tom Breeze. Man, what a badass! He's a scary dude in person, and he looked pretty scary taking on Cathal Pendra this weekend. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here. If you've got any more questions for me on UFC Dublin, I'll answer them for a few more days. So make sure you send them in to me today using the hashtag MMA Latest. Let me know what you think in the comments below about the event itself. I'm dying to hear about them. Like the video, please subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. SYF.